4 days of Bassmaster Live with the viewers at home. I hope you've enjoyed it just as much as we have in studio. The AFTCO Bassmaster Elite, Macomb County, Michigan, Lake St. Clair, the gem of Michigan, we could probably call it. If we look at our unofficial leaderboard based on Bass Track, Joey Cifuentes took that lead about midday after catching another 5-pounder, 91 pounds, 5 ounces. His lead has shrunk a little as Taku Ito, Luke Palmer, Cooper Gallant have inched their way to their goal weights, but one more key fish for any of those guys and the game will be changed. It'll be a much tighter race. Davey Height, Mike Sukan joining Ronnie Moore here in studio. Why don't we just kick it off with the Toyota Midday Report with, it's hard to pick and choose out of the 10 great anglers, but let's just go with the top 3 who would be in the podium finishes as of right now, starting off with our Day 3 leader, Luke Palmer.
I say that'd be a great place to start for several reasons. One of the big reasons, Luke Palmer was our Day 3 leader coming into today, Championship Sunday. Luke Palmer had a slight lead, only about 3 pounds and 3 ounces between first and third, so everyone was certainly within reach. And Luke Palmer, we've had our eyes on him all day. Spending the afternoon for him the first 3 days when he really made up some ground. He had some areas a little farther back in Anchor Bay than a lot of the other anglers that were fishing Anchor Bay, which was about 70 of them. But Luke Palmer needs to make that move this afternoon. He said he had a lot of days, or all three practice days, he had 22 to 24 pounds in this area. It's kind of been disappointing. During the tournament days, he hasn't had that big day. He needs to have that this afternoon.
We've seen him adjust and catch a good one on a tube. Maybe a Frank Talley type adjustment in the afternoon will do well for one of these anglers. But Taku Ito, he's always dangerous on smallmouth. We saw what he did on day 2 with the conditions he was given, 25 pounds. We saw how tough it was at times with how windy and the waves he dealt with in Anchor Bay. Yesterday, slid back just a little bit, but it's still well in contention. A fish like that, Davey Height, is a reason why he still has a shot in this event.
Yeah, absolutely. They've still got a couple hours of fishing time. Keep in mind, unlike a lot of our tournaments on Lake St. Clair in the past, the leaders may be 20, 30, 40, maybe even 80 miles away from check-in. Most of these anglers are within just 5 or 10 minutes of check-in, so he'll have a lot more fishing time. Everyone knew coming in to this event that Taku Ito would be in contention, and he hasn't disappointed. Currently, unofficially in second place.
Joey Cifuentes, we said he is the X factor, the wild card, the one, I don't know, the white elephant in the room. You know, something is a little different about him because he is fishing so far out in Lake St. Clair compared to the rest of the field. If he got good weather, he could be much more efficient, and maybe he could target bigger fish instead of just hoping for bites.
This tournament has been enjoyable for a lot of reasons. It's been different for a lot of reasons. You say, well, the Bassmasters have been there at Lake St. Clair a number of times. They keep going there in the summertime. We're going to see the same old, same old. Very, very different. 9 of the top 10 anglers fishing in Anchor Bay. First time we've ever seen that. Joey Cifuentes fishing on the south end of Lake St. Clair, 15 to 20 miles away from most of the other anglers. In fact, 90% of them, 9 of the 10. I just got to say, when 5-pounders are jumping in the boat, you're going to be hard to beat.
It could be meant to be on the final day here. Welcome into the Bassmaster Studio, sponsored by Marathon. This Toyota Midday Report wrapped up with some of our top-tier anglers, but overall, we kind of got to give some love to all 102 elite pros, to the 50 that made the cut and the 10 that made Championship Sunday. It has been a phenomenal week of fishing. A lot of records are getting threatened. A lot of things we haven't seen are coming to fruition.
Yeah, you know, it's just been a great week. It really has, and it's far from over. We've still got a couple hours of fishing time, you know, but some of these anglers are going to have to catch a 5 or a 6-pounder to give them a chance. But, you know, we started out this morning within 3 pounds. We've had some separation since then, but it can tighten back up just like it has every day. But really and truly, looking at Taku and Joey Cifuentes coming into today, we really thought that both of those guides were going to be in the top 2 or 3, and they're really 1 and 2 right now. They're going to be hard to overcome, Joey Cifuentes, with those 3, maybe 4 5-pounders.
Mike Sukan, you've watched Bass Track from before takeoff starts, basically, until takeoff or until weigh-in is done. And every single day we see a big key fish. Jason Christie had that on day 1, like a 5-pounder, and we got to see him on day 2 on camera. Everybody's kind of caught a late one. Yesterday it was Frank Talley, a couple key moves.
To get in our top 10.
Is anybody on your radar? They have plenty of room to grow in their 5-fish limit.
Taco had a couple there, but he needs that 5+, maybe close to the big bass of the event, a 6.2 that he had on day 2, the 25/8 bag. He needs something like that. I mean, he started, what, 1 ounce behind Cifuentes?
And we talked about this. Zona said, and he knows as much as anybody we could talk to on a planet about Lake St. Clair. Will these guys cannibalize themselves in Anchor Bay? And he said no, and they haven't. But, man, it is tougher than it was on Thursday for these anglers.
Yeah, it seems like a lot less frequent of 5-pounders and a lot more frequent of 4-pounders. That's the one big interesting thing is, hey, when you get 5 4-pounders, if you're not getting that extra class fish, you can't really upgrade too swiftly.
Yep.
With Joey Cifuentes catching 3 straight-up 5-pounders and one of them close to 5. That is a dream day on Lake St. Clair. As we go out to Kiyoya Fujita, Bassmaster Elite Series rookie, has been so solid this week. As expected, currently just outside of the top 3 cluster that we just talked about on our Toyota Midday report.
He's got all 4 pluses. You have to catch several 5s or one of those big 6s to make up his 5-pound deficit.
He has moved back. He had moved out kind of in front of the Metro, the Miles Road area, moved back in Anchor Bay, where he had spent most of his time during this tournament. And to be clear, they're still catching them. Right, there's a good one he just caught in there. Just hundreds and hundreds of bass that have been caught in there in the last 4 days.
Long about skiing. Oh. Open. Yeah.
Kiyoya, some of those 4-pounders he's calling, they're 4-pounders, but that fish looks like more like 4.5. So probably got a little more than what we got him on Bass Track as also.
And the only hard thing for him today is starting at the deficit he had, about 1.5 pounds behind Joey Cifuentes at least. He's not only going to have to catch him, he's going to have to catch close to 25, if not more than 25. That's kind of what you want to do on the final day of a tournament. If you have the lead or you're having a good day, you want someone to have to catch the biggest bag of the tournament to beat you. And right now, Joey in the driver's seat, Kiyoya would have to do that.
Yeah, some of those fish he's saying 4 pounds are a little over that, but we need to start hearing some 5 pounds, 6 pounds coming from some of these other guys to be able to make a run at Joey Cifuentes.
Ito's Bass Track has a 5-pounder, 2 4.5s, and 2 4s for 22 even. He's 111 back of Cifuentes on Bass Track.
I said to Jake Latendress,
5 3/4 pounder. It could be game on.
Yes.
I texted his cameraman for Taku Ito and I said, how good do you feel about 22 even? He said, solid. Everything's over 4 pounds now. He's got those 2 big ones. And so he thinks it's, 5 4s is 20. If you have 3 4s and 2 5s, that's 22. And he thinks he's pretty close on 22.
2 big ones, huh? He's only got 1 5.
So it's 140. I was thinking I really need to cull one. I've got a 3 and it's a 3 3/4. I really need to cull that fish if I can, and if I can do that, I'll feel really good about what I got. I mean, I'm already happy with what I have, but if I can cull that fish right here in the last 20, 25 minutes, I'm not going to push on it getting back. I know I just don't know what the boat wake is back there in the bay. I'm sure it is horrendous. So I think comfortably I would love to leave myself an hour, but I don't know that I need an hour. So, but anyways, it's been an excellent day. I've got 4 or 5 pounders. I mean, what more could you ask for? So it would be great to get a little bit of an upgrade right here at the end of the day. Give me a real good solid chance at winning this thing. But so I'm gonna keep plugging right now and see if I can hunt me up one more. Do a little road hunting.
Best part of your day so far?
That flurry of 5 pounders. I mean, especially the 4th one I caught. I kind of got a little teary-eyed because that was pretty cool. I mean, I've only had one 5 pounder each day, and I've managed to catch 4 of them today. So it's just sweet just to catch smallmouth that big. You know, I don't get to do that at home, and I look forward to coming up here every year or so, and to do it in the tournament. It's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. That was the best part of the day for sure.
What are you telling me, Joey? You can't catch smallmouth like that at Greer's Ferry. You kidding me? Up there in the B Branch, Clinton, Arkansas area where him and Larry Nixon live. Maybe numbers, but maybe not size. Looking at the TH Marine Weather Watch. This morning it was predicting light and variable winds, mid-70s, and it has lived up to the hype so far. The winds look pretty decent for being out on the main lake in July at Lake St. Clair.
It looks gorgeous up there. 77 degrees for a high. TH Weather Marine forecast.
Sometimes the wind is actually manufactured with the boats. How fast the boats go by you creates wind.
So I guess most of the big Donsies are up the St. Clair River where they're having that big boat race today, because it is unusually light recreational traffic on Lake St. Clair. I mean, 1 million boats registered in the state of Michigan. There's got to be a lot of them somewhere else.
Frank Talley can improve his standing a little bit.
Need Frank to make a couple of those calls like he did yesterday. Switch it up, make a little move, switch your bait.
Like Joey said, I've had a really good day. I don't know at what level good goes to great, but I think he's had a pretty great day. 91 pounds, 5 ounces. If Joey Cifuentes doesn't win with that, I'm not saying he's happy with it, but if you told him on Thursday morning, hey, I'm gonna send you out of here with 90 plus pounds and you might not get the win, that is a blessed week of fishing for sure. Joey Cifuentes, Taku Ito, Luke Palmer, Cooper Gallant, and Kiyoya Fujita, that's your top 5. Still got some killers down below. Lester Schmidt, Fouts, Talley, and Greg Hackney. Got to get Greg above 80 before we send it off at Lake St. Clair.
This isn't just fishing. This is an obsession.
Smallmouth will do that to you.
Advancements in technology have only made them smarter, so we've had to change the way we fish.
Smallmouth, they're visual feeders. Matte finish and neutral buoyancy are critical to get these